Hey guys, how is everybody doing? And I know I am very late to my Beverly Hills Cop 3 review. 4th of July week, I was busy on the 3rd to where I wasn't going to be able to get this video out. On the 4th, obviously 4th of July, I was a bit busy. I only found enough time to do my the boys episode reviews that I usually do. And over the weekend, it was my father's birthday, so I was celebrating with my stepdad, which was also his birthday the same day. My dad and stepdad have the same birthday, so I went with my stepdad over the weekend to celebrate his birthday. And on Sunday, which was my father's birthday, I was busy with him. And Monday kind of was, I had to go back to work, but time got ahead of me, so you'll probably get this by Tuesday morning. We shall see. I've been very busy to where I wouldn't be able to get this video out, so please, thank you all for your patience. I want to say that off the bat. Thank you all for your patience and not wondering where this was or being that one guy asking where the review was. Just thank you all so much for your patience, and I finally found some time to do this. So yeah, and hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday, whenever it decides to come out, you'll get my Beverly Hills Cop ranking, which I have seen Axel F. I did watch that movie on the 3rd because it was late at night and I was tired and I just wanted to watch that real quick and I liked it, so you'll get my full thoughts of my ranking. And hopefully Thursday or Friday, you'll get my June 2024 movies ranked of all the movies that I watched during the month of June, all ranked. Hopefully that'll be out as well. But until that comes along, we are here to talk about the very controversial Beverly Hills Cop 3. So, with that all out of the way, everything finally sorted out, here are my thoughts on Beverly Hills Cop 3. Starting off with my positives on Beverly Hills Cop 3 is I really like the inclusion of John Saxon, who is kind of like the main-ish villain. He's one of the villains. He's kind of like the head of everything going on, this whole crime thing about them basically printing money or whatever the hell is going on. I forget what it was. But he's kind of like the boss of the villain of this movie, and I love John Saxon. But I mostly know him from the Nightmare on Elm Street series where he's Nancy's father. I should rewatch the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I keep thinking about them. I might rewatch them this summer. But yeah, I love John Saxon. He's a great actor. Rest in peace. He was a great actor, so rest in peace. But yeah, I mostly know him from A Nightmare on Elm Street. But whenever that guy shows up in a movie, he is always great. I don't know why he agreed to do this movie though, but I'm not gonna complain. John Saxon in a movie, okie dokie with me. I'm not gonna say that again. I'm sorry, but yeah, I love John Saxon. I love his inclusion in this movie. He doesn't give one of his best performances I've ever seen, but yeah, just seeing John Saxon in a movie, let alone, will always be a positive for me. The thing, besides the brand new installment with Axel F, I think the action in this movie is pretty good to where this is like to where after Beverly Hills Cop 2, they kind of lean towards to more action of this series, and I think the action is good, like in the theme park, like that one scene where Axel is saving those two kids on the Ferris wheel. I almost forgot the name for some reason. When seeing them on the Ferris wheel, that's a pretty suspenseful moment, and the action in the very beginning of the movie is incredible. I really enjoyed that. It's not mind blowing action like Mission Impossible or Top Gun Maverick type action. All of those are Tom Cruise movies. I just realized that, but yeah, nothing mind blowing action, anyways. But it's still good action. It's still very entertaining. I thought it was. I think it might be a bit better than the second one, but it probably isn't, but yeah, action wise, it's very good in this one, and to where it's really enjoyable, it's suspenseful, and this is where I believe that this movie did a good job of kind of showing a little bit more of that blend of comedy and action, but they kind of, like Beverly Hills Cop 2, they mostly focus on action, which I'm fine with. I'm an action whore. That is my favorite subgenre of movies. A lot of people might be surprised to hear that. That's my favorite subgenre of movies when I don't have much action things in here. I got a Batman symbol, though. That's sort of action, right? I really like the setting of Wonderworld in this movie, to where it's basically like a Disney World, Disneyland like theme park about like animals. It's a very fun setting. It's where
Turn that fucking song off!
Axel can kind of do his thing. One of my favorite moments in the movie is when the little mascots are dancing and he kind of just dances along with them. That's a pretty funny sequence in the movie. But yeah, I really enjoy the Wonderworld setting. It's a fun setting. It's where Axel can fuck around the entire time. It's really funny and during the movie. But yeah, the Wonderworld setting, it's great. I really enjoy it. It's a fun setting to where Axel can just run around, be goofy all he wants, to where he can kind of hide in public from the villains to where they can't really see him anymore, or when Axel's look for the villains, he can't see him. That's because it's so crowded with a bunch of people there. So yeah, not action, God. The setting of the movie is great. It's really fun. It's just a really enjoyable setting in the movie. But now moving on to my mixed aspects, and unfortunately, the comedy it's not all that great, and it kind of bums me to say that because Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cop, the first one is fucking hilarious, and you're kind of hoping since they got the action part of the sequence series out of the way, they would kind of focus more on that, which, again, I praised the action earlier, but I want more Eddie Murphy comedy. There's not much in it, but when it is in it, it's good, it's funny, I'm laughing every now and then, but it's not overly funny, but it's kind of like a fucking joke, like a cartoon. Like, the first moment when Billy and Axel meet up, Axel has his face just squished against the fucking window to his office, and he just opens it, and Billy goes, It's like, that's supposed to be comedy? That's a fucking Looney Tunes joke. Like, it's very unfortunate to say that, and I'm still upset saying that, is that the comedy in Beverly Hills Cop, it's not good. It's not very good. When it is there, it's funny. It's okay, I guess. I know I'm sounding more negative on it, but it's not terrible. It's seriously not. I'm making it sound worse than it really is. But now moving on to my negatives, and one of my main negatives about the movie, and well, it could be considered a nitpick, I guess, but it really bothered me throughout the entire movie, and that is not seeing John Taggart in this movie, to where we're not able to see the original trio at all with Axel, John, and Billy. He's not in the movie at all, and they come up with the lamest excuse is that he's retired from being a cop, that he's retired, he's no longer in the business, which is very generic, but I guess they had to find a way. And I looked up why. I was like, maybe there was creative differences or fucking payroll, maybe. But apparently it was scheduling conflicts, which apparently he was doing other things to where he wouldn't have been able to be in this movie. So instead of getting John Taggart, they basically just bring in a new character that's just basically like him. I can't remember his name, but he's not a bad character. I actually really enjoy him. And, this new character is basically just like John. That's all he is. Like, they basically couldn't get the actual John Taggart, so they just brought in this wannabe John Taggart. That is basically what the movie is with this new character is a wannabe John Taggart, because they couldn't get John, the actual actor, to play him because of scheduling conflicts, which is unfortunate. It's just like, well, I get it, he can't be in it because of scheduling conflicts, then why bring along this new character that's basically him? What the fuck is the point of that? And this is where part of the series to where like green screen effects kind of played a role in it, and the green screen effects are very fucking noticeable, and they're very bad. Again, I can't really be too harsh on it, I guess, because it is like an early '90s movie. I believe. I believe this movie came out during the 1990s. I could be mistaken, or it came out during the late 80s. I can't remember. But this is where they kind of tried to do green screen effects, so where like they're at Wonderworld and there's like this very weird looking outline behind the Wonderworld, and there's like weird outlines around Axel when he's just walking around the park, and when he's saving the two kids from the Ferris wheel, there's like weird outlines around him to where you can clearly tell it is a green screen, to where it's horribly noticeable and to where it's painful to look at, and it's just like, oh god, again. Early 80s, not early 80s, early 90s, late 80s type movie, and the green screen effects aren't going to be fantastic, but I should know that, but when they do it, it's just so fucking noticeable and just so fucking bad. And unfortunately, they also wasted Billy in this movie to where he doesn't really get to do much, and he's treated basically as a fucking joke throughout the entire movie. To where they kind of did the same thing with him in Beverly Hills Cop 2, but that where it was really funny, where it was actually funny. But in this movie, they waste him to where he's like a captain of like this whole side of Beverly Hills, basically, where he has like full control over there, and they play that as a joke, and it's not really that funny, and to where he doesn't really show up much. He only shows up at like the award ceremony with Axel, and when we get to see Billy and Axel reunite for the first time in like a few years, and then he doesn't show up again until the very end of the movie, and he gets shot a bunch of times, and he somehow survives. And he's just, and we unfortunately don't get to see this like team up like duo with Axel and Billy because like, well, Taggart's gone. Well, at least it'll be fun to see Billy and Axel, right? Nope, they don't do that at all. They basically just say, fuck you, Billy. We're just gonna make this movie just entirely about Axel. Sure, this entire franchise has been about Axel, but we've always seen Taggart and Billy. But since Taggart's out of the picture, you think they would do just Billy and Axel, right? But for some reason, they just don't do jack shit with Billy. And for my final negative, if again, could be considered a nitpick, but it bothered me. And at the very end of the movie, they do like this very lame twist that I saw coming once this character is introduced. I felt because like when this character is a supposedly FBI agent and he doesn't want Axel chasing down the villain and to see where his deals are going. It's just like, dude, you can stop him and question him. It's not that hard to where I was like, this guy's possibly working for him. He probably has something to do with it. And at the very end, it's just like, oh, surprise. I am also a villain. I work with these guys. He's pointing a gun at Alex. It's just like, I'm supposed to be did I say Alex? Axel, excuse me. And I'm supposed to be like, oh, big shock. I didn't see it coming.
It's a big surprise. That's an incredible. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack and die from that surprise.
It's just like, dude, I noticed, I knew what the twist was going to be from fucking frame one with that character. All in all, guys, do I hate Beverly Hills Cop 3? No. Do I understand some of the hate? Kinda. But hearing so much hate around the movie saying that it's unwatchable, it is boring as hell, and it feels like hell trying to get through it, that's actual things I've seen. I don't understand that. This movie is not terrible. It is not tremendous. It is not hard to get through. It's really not. It's still a fun time. Does it have multiple faults? Lord, yes, but it's still a fun time. If I really enjoyed the movie, it was fun just to see Axel Foley do his thing. It's just still a fun time. Sure, is it the weakest of the three? By far it is. It's nowhere near as good as the first one. Doesn't even come close to trying to top the second one. It's still just an okay time. So, if you're one of those people that had never seen this movie because of all that hate around it, at least give it a shot. It is not terrible, it is not hard to get through, it's still just a fun time, and it's still a decent Beverly Hills Cop movie, and it's still a decent, uh, little fun time with Axel Foley doing his thing. So, not as bad as people make it out to be, it's still just a fun time. What do you guys think of Beverly Hills Cop 3? Have you seen it? What do you think about it? Do you like this movie? Are you a lot like a lot of people who don't like this movie? Do you think this is the worst of the series? Do you prefer this over the second one? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. If you like this video, like it. If you loved it, subscribe to the bell notification so you will get notified for all my latest videos and whenever my Beverly Hills Cop ranking drops. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I will see you all in the next video.